I had a potential customer call me because they had a bunch of firewood, like 5 cords of firewood that needed to be moved. Not just like stacked, but moved and then stacked. I didn't call them back now for a week because I couldn't conceive of a fair price for them. Because the amount of time I estimate just from what they told me, what they left a message about, it'd probably take 80, 100 hours maybe to move and stack all that. Based on my own capabilities. In fact, I have to use a wheelbarrow to truck wood across the property, dump it, and then stack it. There's no way in hell I could offer them a fair price. No, the whole point of my work is not just to be a handyman who will just work and like, I got skills and you got to pay me. It's to offer a fair price. It's to offer a price that the disabled can afford, that people on fixed income can afford. And at, $10 an hour for labor, it would be $800 to $1,000 worth of time spent doing this. And it's just not fair. It's wrong. So if they don't get the help, then it's wrong. And if I do charge them for it, it's wrong. There's no way to win here. I'm in a moral zugzwang, and there's no winning. If there's someone else out there who is physically more robust and maybe they have a pickup truck, because most guys who do handyman work have a pickup truck. I don't. Do it out of the back of a fucking Nissan sedan. I fold up my lawnmower. I have to disassemble it and put it back there and then take it out and reassemble it. The handlebars have to come off. That's how I do my work. If you had a pickup truck, you could load up the pickup truck, especially if it's a long bed with, maybe a third of a cord, and then, drive it over there, dump it, come back, get another, and then another, and then you're done, and then you have a cord done. But I have to truck it with a wheelbarrow. That's extra labor. So, since that's all I can do, be, $10 an hour. Another person could charge $20 an hour and be far more efficient than me and offer them a better price. So they might end up spending, say, $600, say $100 a cord to stack that stuff, where if I charge them, it'd be twice that. So the only way I could help them, is to work is $5 an hour, and I'm not working for $5 an hour. I refuse. I'm not doing it. Okay, my life matters too. And of course, people say, if your life matters, then charge what it's worth. Just get yourself a pickup truck. They don't cost about $10,000 if you have a good one. Yeah, okay. Just go out and get my. I don't have any money. Why do you think I'm doing this little side gig thing? People are so dense. They really are. You're so fucking dense. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of dealing with people who just can't think at the level, on my level. They can't think philosophically, morally, or just generally on my level. I'm around people who, let's say I'm a senior in high school, all right? I'm acknowledging I still have to go to college, so metaphorically speaking, metaphysically speaking, still have to go to college, still have to go to grad school, whatnot. But I'm in 12th grade, and I'm surrounded by people in the 1st through the 3rd grade, and there's someone who's in the 4th grade. I'm dating someone who's in the 4th grade. And I'd rather talk to a 4th grader than deal with 1st through 3rd graders, but in the end, I'm still end up just talking to a 4th grader. There's limits to the kind of conversation you can have with a 4th grader. Even though, Abraham Lincoln had a 4th grade education, and it was far more substantive back then. Look at how eloquent he was, what a deep thinker he was. Whether or not you liked him or not, whether or not, okay, you might have liked him because he freed the slaves. You might have disliked him because, he wanted to free the slaves, but he didn't, because of a practical measure to keep the Union intact, but he was still a white supremacist. But he was still a deep thinker regardless. You might hate him because of some of the suspension of habeas corpus and all that. Look, regardless of what you think of him personally, right? He was an incredibly intelligent man. So, I understand 4th grade can be a lot, but, in this metaphor, 4th grade is shit. And I'm alone. I'm alone talking to people who do not understand me and the way I look at the world. And I understand you have to have the courage to walk alone. Be nice to have a tribe, but I don't have a tribe. I have basically a gang of kids, figuratively speaking, that I like to hang out with because that's the best I can do. And I'm speaking spiritually. I'm not talking about actual intellect. The intellect does play part. The nuanced thinking that I can engage in, the depth, multivariate thinking. Most people can't do that. That's why if you're doing handyman work and you have a skill, then basically you charge as much as you can. You make as much as you can so you can afford to give away a little bit of work here and there to those who are truly in need. And that's the best thing most people can do. They can't just be affordable. And maybe my whole business model is wrong. It doesn't reflect reality. Maybe the best thing to do is to gouge people for as much as you can get out of them, and then offer breaks to people who happen to tell you, like, I'm sorry, I can't afford your prices, but I need the work done. So maybe can you cut me a deal? And you're like, of course I can cut you a deal. You're waiting for them to pull that trigger, to pull that lever, so you cut them a deal. So be it. Maybe that is the correct way of doing it. And my idealism is just bullshit. It's just self-flagellating Catholic. Latent self-flagellating Catholic guilt or something. I'm willing to cut myself down. I'm willing to say that I'm full of shit. I'm perfectly willing to be wrong. But I don't think I am in this case. I think I'm right. I think my approach to this is a good way to do it. It's easy enough because I have another part-time job. If I was doing it full-time, I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could afford to do, $20 here, $30 there. I need to get, how much income am I going to need to survive? $100 a day, probably, after tax. So that's like, I have to do $150 of revenue every fucking day. And if you want to include business insurance and shit, then you're probably talking like $175 a day. And how can you make $175 a day doing miscellaneous handyman work? I mean, you'd be working 16, 18, 20 hours a day. Assuming you had back-to-back jobs. So you charge more, and you just charge as much as you can so you don't have to work 20 hours a day. So you can work, 10 or 12 hours a day, and then take a day off each week. The Lord's Day. Oh. And, this sucks. I'm so frustrated. So I did call that customer back just before I got in the car, and I said, well, if you still need help with the firewood, here's my number. Whatever, I'll just tell them I can do $10 an hour as often as I can show up, and then if they go for it, fine, and if they don't, they don't. Just because someone agreed to pay it doesn't mean you're doing a good thing. You just got their consent. Just because someone consent doesn't make it right. They have the right to consent, but that doesn't mean that their action is right. I think there's no moral way for me to do business with them. So, even if I do end up helping them, I'm still doing the wrong thing. Thanks for watching.